This is the read aloud for the Day 14 formative assessment. As you listen to this video, feel free to pause, rewind, do whatever you need to do in order to hear what you need to hear. Read the story, then answer the questions that follow. Welcome Home by Joyce Mallory. As far back as I could recall, basketball had been my passion. My father had set up a basketball hoop in our backyard, and my older brother Andy had started showing me how to play basketball from the time I was small. As I grew older, playing basketball became the focus of my life. In most situations, I tend to be a shy and timid person, but I become someone completely different when I'm on the basketball court. It's almost like a switch turns on inside of me, and I can shut out everything else. When I'm playing basketball, my brother calls me Fast and Furious Fee. Fee rhymes with C, and Fee is short for Fiona. When I'm playing basketball, the spectators love to chant rhymes during the game. What do you see, Fee? Score one for me, Fee. And even, hey, Fee, make it 3. My brother has always been my best friend. While we did all the things that kids generally do to annoy each other, we always seemed to know what was in each other's hearts. But the past year has been so hard for me because my brother enlisted in the Air Force, and shortly after, he was deployed to the Middle East. My heart still thumps when I think back to the night before he left, the night we sat together and silently stared at the stars. I don't know what I'll do without you, I blurted out, despite my feeble attempt to put on a brave face. Andy was quiet, which is totally unlike him. I'm scared to leave, he admitted quickly, but it will be easier for me to be away if I know you're okay, and we can always text and email. I just have to know you're going to be all right while I'm gone, Fiona, that you're going to be the star of your basketball team and work to get good grades. I hugged him, and I couldn't stop crying. My passion is basketball, and I'll work hard to get good grades because I know that those things are important to my brother. Hang in there, Fast and Furious, he whispered, trying his best to reassure me. But instead of fast and furious, I felt lost and lonely. My life just wasn't the same after Andy left. My friends didn't seem to comprehend how I felt now that my brother was not around and how I worried about him. I'd love to have my brother leave for a while, my best friend Chloe once said. It took all the strength I had not to start crying, and I could tell that Chloe immediately regretted her remark. I guess that was a thoughtless thing to say, she mumbled apologetically. I know how much you love Andy. The following week, Chloe and I were at the library when she called me over to her computer and pointed to a website. Fiona, look at this, she said excitedly. My mom told me about this, Troop Greeters' official website. People assemble at the airport and greet the troops that pass through. We read the mission statement together. The mission of Troop Greeters is to express the nation's gratitude and appreciation to the troops, for those going overseas and for those heroes coming home. The website said we could contact the group for additional information. Let's go outside and call, Chloe suggested. I grabbed my cell phone and dialed the number. A woman answered, and she explained it all to us. We'll let you know when flights are arriving, she said. Have at least one parent accompany you. The welcome means so much to our returning and departing military personnel. That night, I discussed it with my parents. This sounds like a wonderful idea, Mom said, and we'll bring Chloe too, since it was her idea. Then, the night before we were scheduled for our first meet and greet, I started to get really nervous about talking to strangers. Finally, I called Chloe. I can't do this. I have no idea what to say, I moaned. Wait a minute, you can't back out now, Chloe snapped. What happened to Fast and Furious Fee of the basketball court? You're acting like a foolish and flighty fan in the bleachers. Then, in a softer voice, she added, I've got an idea. Why don't you bring your basketball with you? That way the troops will know something about you right from the start, and you'll have something to talk about. The next morning, we stood in line with the other troop greeters. Suddenly, there was a rush of footsteps and uniforms, and we could feel an electric buzz of excitement and energy. The first man in line looked at me, smiled, and shook my hand. Thank you for coming, he said. And you're a basketball player. Can I borrow this? He grabbed the ball and started dribbling and laughing. Then he passed it to his friend. I took a deep breath and forced myself to ask, Did you play basketball in high school? I'd play for my varsity team. That remark brought a grin to several faces. After that, it was easy for me to talk to the troops. Each one said hello and asked about my basketball. And every time I said, "Welcome home," I knew in my heart that someday soon I would be uttering those words to my own hometown hero, my brother. Question 1. What effect does the author's use of rhyme have in paragraph 2? A. The spectator's rhymes reflect the excitement at Fee's basketball games. B. The spectator's rhymes add a musical quality to the paragraph. C. The spectator's rhymes foreshadow which team will win the next game. D. The spectator's rhymes reinforce Fiona's strong bond with her brother. Please pause the video as you make your selection. Question 2. Why has the author chosen to use phrases such as silently stared at the stars and lost and lonely in the scene that took place the night before Andy left? A. To highlight similarities between the feelings of the brother and sister. B. To build up the mood of stillness and sadness. C. To create suspense about what will happen after Andy leaves. D. To emphasize the close relationship between Fiona and her brother. Please pause the video as you make your selection. Question 3. How does Chloe's use of the phrase "fast and furious Fee" help Fiona to rethink her feelings about meeting strangers? A. It helps Fiona see the differences between basketball players and the arriving troops. B. It suggests that Fiona should remember what Andy said the night before he left. C. It emphasizes that Fiona should think up rhymes to chant for the soldiers. D. It reminds Fiona to draw on the confidence she gained from playing basketball. Please pause the video as you make your selection. Question 4. A student made this claim. The author uses repetition and alliteration to draw the reader's attention to Fiona's feelings at different points in the story. Write a paragraph explaining how you can tell that the claim is true. Use at least 2 details from the passage to support your response.